I don't know when you consider what Iowa State was expected to be this season,
Yeah.
what they lost, and the injuries that they suffered in important positions. I don't know. I don't know if there's someone that's done a better job.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he's certainly. It's funny. So after in the post game, Bill Self, unsolicited, said he thought Jerome Tang and TJ Otzelberger were the two leading candidates for Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year right now. Just not just Big 12, national. It's hard to disagree with that, right? I mean, those two guys, and generally when you're doing Coach of the Year, you're doing it on guys that overachieve. You know, we're not picking the guy that's, Kelvin Sampson. It's a great example, right? Picked preseason top 5 by everybody. They are number 5. He's done a great job. We know that, but traditionally you're going to go with a guy that overachieves. Those two guys certainly belong in that combo. Can I give you a few more guys? You want to give me a few?
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't have either of those guys as my National Coach of the Year as of today. Mine would be Matt Painter.
I don't know if I could have one today, but Matt Painter would have to be right in the conversation. Yeah, I mean, 2 freshman guards, a 7'4" kid who we knew was going to be good, but Zach Edey, we didn't know you were going to be this dominant.
It's amazing. I was thinking about this the other day. We put out a preseason publication called The Year of the Big.
Yeah.
We made sure that we talked to Hunter Dickinson for it. We made sure we had to talk to Oscar Tshiebwe for it. We made sure we got Armando Bacot on the record for it. We had a half dozen dudes that we made sure to get onto the cover. Zach Edey was an afterthought and all that. And here he is, fucking Shaq Edey, right? It's
Shaq Edey, baby.
His improvement. To me, the thing that's been so impressive is one, the way that Painter can find a way to kind of hide him defensively and scheme ways to make him be so effective on the offensive end of the floor, right? And 2, he's 290 pounds and he can play 40 minutes.
Yes,
if he has to.
He's in great shape.
He's in unbelievable shape.
He's in great shape. He is. He said that to me earlier. He said, I work with a strength coach on, not just like conditioning, but almost conditioning of like lateral movement, things like that. If you notice, he's definitely moving a lot better defensively.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He rebounds outside his area much better than a lot of bigs his size, right? A lot of those guys are just plotters who are going to put their hands up, and if it comes near him, they're going to get it. But Zach Edey goes after it a little bit. Painter's certainly in the combo. I'm going to give you a few more guys.
Okay.
Sean Miller.
Yes.
Xavier for sure has to be. I got a list of 10. All right, I got a list of 10 right here. Ed Cooley has to be in the mix. Ed Cooley has to be in the mix. Don't shake your head at me.
Here's the problem. He's like 3rd for me on the Big East Coach of the Year list.
I would say he's 2nd for me. Sean, Ed, Shaka Smart. Okay, right? I know you were pumping Shaka to me earlier, and I would agree. He's in the 10.
All of them.
All of them. Okay, all 3 of them. 2 from the Big 12. Painter from the Big 10. Nate Oates from the SEC has to be in there. And then Brad Brunell, I know Clemson lost today, but they came in at 7-0 in the ACC. You got to have him. And then I'm going with 2 mid-major guys. I'm going with my neighbor. I'm going with my neighbor down there. Our city. At Kelsey at Charleston, you got to be in the mix. And I miss you, man. I miss you. I'm coming home soon. Don't you worry. And then Dusty May, FAU, has to be in the mix. I did a game of theirs a few years ago. And I'm like, I don't know how long Dusty can survive here, right? FAU. You're in Boca. It's beautiful. Some great restaurants over there, but like, you're going to be done at some point. You can't keep this thing going. He's flipped this thing. I mean, it was a garbage. I mean, I don't know. They've had multiple NBA guys that have failed there, right? Michael Curry, Sidney Green. I can't remember who else they had, but he's in the top 25 right now. That's my 10 right now. That's my 10.
Can I make an argument for Bill Self?
Sure.
On the National Coach of the Year list. He doesn't have a bench. He doesn't have a 5-man. He doesn't really have a point guard that's a scoring threat. His 2-guard can't really shoot it.
Yeah.
His best shooter has nights like he did tonight. And he still found a way to basically be like one of the best
like
teams.
Blue Moon in Manhattan.
To be one of the best teams in college basketball again. Right? Like, so I think The one issue I have with the way that we
I
rate coach of
agree.
the year
I know what you're going to
is-
say.
It's just, it's like, so the guys that didn't do a good job putting together a team in the offseason and outperform it,
Right.
always get more credit than the guys that did a great job putting together their team and live up to expectations.
Yes.
That's my only issue. And, Cal hasn't lived up to what we thought they were going to be. There's other guys, John Shire hasn't necessarily lived up to it, but I mean,
Hubert Davis hasn't lived up to it. I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of them.
Self,
Like Kelvin's done
a
it.
few, like to me, Self, with all the bad breaks that they've gotten,
Yeah.
and everything that's going on with that team, and the fact that the pieces don't really fit.
You know, another one who's overachieved a little bit, what had until this past week was Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. Right? Done a really good job.
Yeah, they got found out.
Two bigs, two traditional bigs. Hard to win with two bigs that can't really guard at all on the perimeter, that can't switch.
Yes. I mean, that's the biggest issue. They're not going to be very good defensively.
Right.
And teams have kind of, you want a stat? I got a stat for you.
Go ahead.
Heading into the Arizona State game 5 games ago, they led the nation in offensive 2-point field goal percentage, right? 4 of their last 5 games, they have been under 40% from the floor. That's the issue right there. They went from being the best offense in college basketball to being a team that has been able to be figured out because they have 2 bigs that don't shoot it, and their guards just like, it's one thing to have 2 bigs that don't shoot it, and you got Ben Mathurin and Dalen Terry. Right. It's another thing to have 2 bigs that don't shoot it, and you got like Courtney Ramey and Pella Larson, who haven't quite lived up to expectations. So to me, that's the biggest issue. Listen,